Number one is don't stop trying. And number two is prepare your story.
So thank you, Siying, for your time today. Really, really appreciate your time. Can you maybe tell me a little bit about yourself?
I'm currently a technical program manager at Google, and I think my path has been all over the places, going transitioned from a biomedical researcher to business analytics professional. And right now, I'm a technical program manager. Initially, when my undergrad was in chemistry and biology, and then I came to US to study biomedical sciences, pursuing the PhD program.
Um,
But during the PhD, I decided that I wanted to go on the business side. So I quit it and
uh-huh.
then got an MBA at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Yeah, go Hills.
Go
Then
Hills
after
for sure.
Go Hills. After, yeah, we're from the same school. And then after MBA, I was all over the places. I did consulting, corporate strategy during my MBA internship.
Hmm.
And after graduation, I first worked in the operational management, operational planning and analytics space.
Hmm.
Then I took a 3 month gig at a venture capital firm. That was
Hmm.
super interesting.
Oh
From
wow.
there, I joined one with portfolio startup company.
Uh-huh.
Um, at that time to be the one person data team running
Uh-huh.
all sorts of analytics.
Yeah.
And during that time, the startup was growing very fast, very exciting. Went from Series A to Series B
Uh-huh.
in just, yeah, I was there for almost 1 year.
Hmm.
And then an opportunity came and I landed into Google. At
Hmm.
first, I was in the legal operations
Uh-huh.
role as a data analyst in
Uh-huh.
Google's legal department without any legal background whatsoever. I was
Of
in the
course.
legal department for 1.5 years
Uh-huh.
until I decided to make a career switch, like internal
Yep.
transfer
Uh-huh.
into my current role, which is a technical program manager uh,
Yeah.
in security, privacy, and safety. And
Gotcha.
I work still focusing on analytics.
You mentioned something about how you got an opportunity and then you jumped to Google.
Mhm.
Can you maybe share a little bit about the process? Like, were you approached by a recruiter or did you like apply with the referral? And also, what did like the interview process look like? And like, how long did it really take from applying to actually getting the job offer?
Mhm. Yeah, here's a non-secret secret is I applied to Google so many times, maybe
Yeah.
more than 10 times. And that was the only time when I actually got into the interview phase.
Uh-huh.
Before that, I applied to Google before my MBA, during
Uh-huh.
my MBA summer internship, and after MBA.
Yeah.
But all those times, I like my resume never got into
Uh-huh.
the phone screening phase.
Uh-huh.
That was a time when I was working in a startup,
Yeah.
in a startup company, and I initially I heard my friend from Google who told me about an opportunity that really interested me. So she
Uh-huh.
referred me, and although that particular position in her team didn't work out in the end,
Uh-huh.
I simultaneously applied to some other roles at Google at the
Mm-hmm.
same time. So and I ended up interviewing for Google, like two different positions at Google
Oh wow.
at the same time.
Uh-huh.
One is so both of those positions are like data analyst role,
Uh-huh.
just in different teams. One
Uh-huh.
in legal, one in another team.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through the whole interview process for both of those roles.
Oh wow.
So actually, yeah, this is something interesting at Google. Like you can literally simultaneously apply to multiple roles, and every roles are evaluated independently
Uh-huh.
until at the phase where one of the roles recruiter told me, hey, we're going to move on for you to get into the hiring committee decision.
Uh-huh.
And at this stage, you have to decline or you have to withdraw your other open applications.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so I said, oh, okay, I'll go with this one.
Gotcha. That's interesting. So tell me about what you do as a technical program manager. And it seems like you're doing technical program management in the big data and analytics side.
Oh, yeah. I think this is a super interesting role. because this is a role as a technical program manager. We are bridging the vision and execution. Like as a program manager, we are the force multiplier and we are the activator. And then with data as a focus, data is our tool that we say, for example, in my role, I'm pretty much spending 1/3 of my time like building data pipelines, integrating with engineering systems, lots of collaboration with engineering teams. And another 1/3 of my time is about, say, analyzing the data and generating insights. Then another 1/3 of my time is about the program management parts. As I just mentioned, bridging the vision and execution and communicating across the board, make sure that the people from across different functions are working together.
Gotcha. What's the difference between technical program manager and just a program manager? Is it about the engagement with the engineers?
Oh, yes. So technical program manager is program manager plus technical. And by being technical, it means that you can make technical decisions, and you're expected to have that technical judgment. For example, you like I may write my own pipeline, and sometimes I will like write code just as an engineer would do. And some other times I would critique engineers' design doc, or I would write my own design doc and being critiqued by engineers. I need to have a technical judgment, and that technical judgment somehow can weave into the way we manage a program. Say, for example, we need to, as a program manager, we need to consider all different edge cases, different dependencies, and to prioritize things based on, say, do some risk management. How can we estimate the risk, the impact, to make the decision on where we shall prioritize our effort? How are we going about scheduling and all those different dependency management? Yeah, those decisions has a lot of like technical expertise going into it. As a technical program manager, we're expected to own that. But if as a program manager, it is not expected that you have that technical expertise. So program manager would rely very heavily on their eng counterpart to make those technical decisions.
So for a technical program manager, will you be expected to have like a engineering background or experience in tech to be a technical program manager?
This is a very interesting question. I got it. I got asked many times. So I would say, oh, hey, I'm not from an engineering background. So when I first transferred from the legal operations analyst role to the TPM role, and that time our organization was called security engineering. And I like to joke, oh, security engineering, I have no security background. I have no engineering background at all. And so what I was in security engineering. Then I found out that actually in my team, our team is the BA team, business and analytics team, supporting the whole security, privacy, engineering. All of us are coming from the background, not security, not privacy. So not engineering. But we're bringing in a growth mindset. Yeah, sometimes we bring the fresh mindset. Like lots of times, I think it's about we as a TPM, we were there to bring the diverse perspectives together. Some of those perspectives coming from our own, and some of those are what we were there as a bridge. And because of our diverse background, let's say, for example, you and I are from MBA background, and thus we have some common language while speaking to finance or marketing or whatever, like those functions, right? If we are in an engineering product meeting, then we should represent whoever the empty seats on the table. to bring those
Gotcha.
voices together
Gotcha.
so that we can make more informed decision. And I
Gotcha.
think this is our unique strength. Like
Uh-huh.
to, I guess to summarize, being a TPM does not require engineering background.
Gotcha. No, I love the answer. Unique perspective and being the bridge.
Yes.
Um, can you tell me about what you like the most and then maybe something that you don't like that much about your role?
Yeah. So what I really like about the role, as I said, is really being the bridge and collecting the dots.
Mm-hmm.
The role is very dynamic. I couldn't think of any 2 days where I did exactly the same thing. Like we're facing different challenges every day and all
Yeah.
so very interesting. Say, for example, literally something I did recently, on one day, I might be presenting to VP to give a 30,000 feet view of our, like say, or security posture of different Google products
Uh-huh.
and some data-driven recommendation,
Yeah.
risk modeling about where we should invest our resources in.
Yeah.
And then literally on the second day, I was talking to our engineering partner and help them unblock some engineering problem. And I was
Uh-huh.
say, hey, there's another team which is building such this and this, and they have that tiny little module. Maybe you
Uh-huh.
can plug it in to unblock your use case.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I collect them together and then, yeah, unblock them. So those are very interesting moments. Like, and those
Mhm.
happen every day.
Yep.
It's like the role is so dynamic, and that's what makes the role challenging.
Uh-huh.
If you ask me what's the difficult or the part I don't like, there is a trade-off. Like say, sometimes I think about the startup environment of that such
Mm-hmm.
a big impact in very short amount of time.
Yep.
Uh, I think yeah, I'm sometimes still like envious about people who are at a startup. Say that's the part that sometimes I
Yeah.
don't like, but then it's
Gotcha.
understandable. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are at Google. We are facing like we have products touching billions of users,
Yep.
and there should be, of course, lots of checks and balances
Yeah.
to put in place in the system.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have lots of responsibility.
For sure. Tell me about Google's culture and maybe work-life balance a little bit.
I'm sure you heard lots of things about culture at Google.
Uh-huh.
So to give you my perspective, as someone who lives through that, like live in that culture,
Uh-huh.
I think Google's culture is rather lighthearted or sometimes quirky.
Okay.
I can go on and on to give you
Yeah.
all kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
jokes. So, well, basically, it's just a small example. Like
Yeah.
once when I was writing my code, submitting a change list, I added a meme in my change list.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, to make light of a mistake that I did,
Uh-huh.
and then and then the next day I got notification say I was added a honor badge. Say this badge was awarded to people who have meme in their change list to encourage people having fun at work. It was
Gotcha.
this kind of very
Okay.
like light-hearted
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
culture. So when you think about Google, wow, like I have met lots of interesting people,
Um.
like from very interesting people from all walks of life,
Oh
diverse
yeah, for sure.
backgrounds. When you have interesting people working on interesting problems, of course we're having lots of fun over it.
Yeah.
Like say security and privacy, it is a very serious topic. We have
Oh yeah.
serious yeah, we have serious responsibilities, but on the other hand we're having fun. And this does not go just in work in project but
Mm-hmm.
also in lives too. Like say during this whole pandemic,
Yeah.
there was a work from home talent show, and
Oh wow.
um, yeah, so I performed in that work from home
Oh
talent
wow.
show. That was for the first time I showed my some like outside talent.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that's what I heard prevailing, like, the fun, work hard and then have fun kind of for culture at Google.
Yeah,
My last question is advice for those who want to join Google.
I would say actually okay, 2 parts. Number one is uh don't stop trying, and number two, is prepare your story. I would say number one, don't stop trying.
Mm.
Really, for myself, I've tried more than 10 times and finally
Yeah.
got into Google. It happens a lot, and not just me. When I sometimes I chat informally with my Google colleagues, lots of people had um, either like a failed interview experience,
Uh-huh.
or when they apply to Google, didn't even get a chance to interview,
Uh-huh.
etc. So it's very common. Like say, if you got rejection from Google, please don't give up. Just keep trying, and you might try
Gotcha.
different roles. Like lots of times, it's just like at at the right time, right place,
Uh-huh.
right role. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh, and also don't be discouraged if you don't have engineering background. I don't have engineering background at all, but I was a TPM, but I'm a TPM right now.
Yeah.
And lots of people are like me.
Uh-huh.
So like your background does not determine what it's not necessarily what you will be doing or what you
Uh-huh.
like to do. Yeah, really pursue what you love. And then the second part of it is craft your story. I think this goes into, like, say, when we were in B school, we were lucky to
Yeah.
have that career consultation services
Mm-hmm.
where we are taught to say, for example, in behavioral questions, uh, answer it in a very structured format, like STAR:
Mm-hmm.
situation, task, action, result. I
Yep.
would also add as takeaway or learning in the
Uh-huh.
end. Like, so think about, say, when you are preparing your interview, try to like create a spreadsheet of here are all the bullets that this job requires, and in different roles, and say in different columns, here are my story one, story two, and
Uh-huh.
every story will touch upon some of the qualities required for this job. Think about this way. And then for every story, think about a star format. And especially at the end, what's your learning? What's your takeaway? So some questions um, I was asked, and I often ask as an interviewer, is if this project is highly successful, even
Uh-huh.
if it's highly successful, I would still ask, hey, if you were to uh, do it over right now,
Yeah.
what are the things you would do differently?
Yeah. I
So always have that reflective mindset.
I love how you mentioned that because I always say that use the star L format where you have the learning at the end that kind
Mm-hmm.
of gives people that you are always, willing to learn and grow. So
Exactly.
love how you put that. So Ying, yeah, I think that was all for today. Really, really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yon. It was super fun. I love chatting with you.
Yeah, thank you.